Hello Internet, Magic Man here from MMOBomb.com, bringing you another first look video. This time it's for the free-to-play MMORPG exclusively on Xbox One, Bless Unleashed, brought to you by Bandai Namco and Neowiz. And yes, this is of the famous or infamous Bless Online team, separate team inside there that was working on this shortly after Bless Online moved to early access / launch here in the United States. We're going to spend 20 minutes or so checking out the game, giving you our first impressions of it, seeing if it's something you want to check out. And right off the bat, you'll be asked to select either North America or European servers. I'll be on North America, and we'll be playing on Luminous today, Luminos. Then you'll be presented with a quick play option, which will be if you want to just jump into the, I believe it's the last character you played or logged into the game as. It'll jump straight to that character, so you don't have to go to your character select screen and all that stuff. We're going to select start so we can spend some time showing you character creation, and then we'll jump into the game itself. So far you can see right now that I have a level 15 Ranger, and that may not seem like very high levels, but trust me, that is hours and hours of gameplay. If you haven't played Bless Unleashed at all yet, you will probably notice if you start doing some research, it's often referred to by the community, sometimes referred to as Bless Souls, because it is a bit of a more in-depth MMORPG in the respect that things aren't just handed to you. We'll get to more into that when we get into the game, though. Let's create a character so you can see some of the options here. So first off, you have to pick your class, one of 5 classes. You do have kind of the tank, healer, DPS type roles going on here. That doesn't mean that in all group content you'll have to obey a trinity. In some group content, that would be extremely beneficial, getting a crusader to hold things down while rangers and mages nuke it and priests keep you up. But you don't necessarily have to adopt the trinity as far as gameplay goes. So we've got our Crusader, sword and shield user. We've got our Berserker, that's a two-handed axe, two-handed weapons. We've got our Ranger, which is kind of your hunter-esque, bows, that type of thing. Mages, of course, your ranged spellcasters, and priest. Now, if you do take a look at some of the races that go with the game, you're kind of limited. You really want to decide your class first and foremost, because notice the Crusader can only be a human or an Ippin. And in the human, I can pick a male or female, but if we go back, the Ippin, they self-identify as just them. That's it. So you don't have any selections to make there. Contrast that to the Berserker, where we can play a Varg, male or female, and that's it. We don't get any other race selection. Ranger, we're stuck with elves. We do have male and female available, but we can only be an elf. Mages are stuck to human and elf, both of which have male and female selections available. And then priests, we kind of go back to what we had for a Crusader, where we have the human, both male and female, or the Ippin, who self-identifies, that's them right there. So you are limited on your, not just your gender a little bit, depending, you're right, if you pick the Ippin, then you're stuck with just the way the Ippin look now. Every other race does have a male-female selection, but your class is limited to a few different races. So let's take the Berserker and go Varg just for the sake of character creation. A little bit different from what we'll be playing inside the game when we start showing content with the Ranger. So we do have a few baseline options to choose from, some rather ridiculous-looking characters, but then we can hit our customize option and start customizing individual pieces. And there's quite a bit of customization here, at least a ton of options. Some of them, in my experience, don't seem to really do all that much. Right control stick, I can rotate, but there are a lot of options. So we can change the iris color, pretty easy. Oh yeah, look at that. Let's go with some red eyes, perfect. And then we can change size, make them really, really tiny and beady. Go to eyeball color. Now let's go to eyeliner type. There we go. What do we got here? Does this even show up on him? This doesn't really show up on him all that well. A little bit. You can see it there above the eyes. Not too bad. Okay, so you do have a ton of options. Again, depending on the selections you've picked, in my experience, sometimes those will be hidden or not really do much. Going to the body themselves, you do have all kinds of options here as far as head size and height, muscle definition, fur color, fur sheen, all that fun stuff. Going into the upper body, we can mess with the torso thickness. Side to side. Not much going on this one, but you do have bust sliders, hip sizes. So we've got all the sliders you could want here. Like this, here's a perfect example, one that really doesn't do much on this particular character combination. So if you want to mess with it, you certainly can, and customize it quite a bit. Enter in your character name, and you are good to go. At that point, which we're going to back out of this, you will be prompted to a little intro bit, and then a whole tutorial section. So the little intro bit, there's a little bit of a misconception. You get a character that's at, I think, level 45, maybe max level, level 45, something like that. And there is you can go through every class and play that bit and get an idea of what the class does. What that does not do, however, is really give you an in-depth look at how badass your character may be at max level with decent gear, nice stats, a particular set of blessings and combos. Yes, you do have all of your abilities unlocked in that little dream sequence, but you really don't have great gear as far as perks on your abilities and stuff like that. So it gives you an idea, but I would stop shy of saying, oh, that gives you an idea of what your character is going to be like at endgame. No, your character will probably be a little more badass than that, but it does give you an opportunity to jump in and play with their combos a little bit to decide if that's a class for you. After you do that little brief dream sequence, there is the option to do a tutorial. I would do this personally for two reasons. One, it's your first time in the game. You could benefit from a tutorial, getting used to the UI and the HUD and all of that stuff. Two, it does set up your individual character's backstory, where they're from, why they're on this quest to do certain things, go after certain, the faceless and stuff like that. It does set that up, and it talks about why your character is, the hero of ages, the Pyreborn. So definitely worth doing. Once you do that, you are unleashed on the game, pardon the pun, for Bless Unleashed. And I gotta say, as we're walking around here, just taking a look at our kind of the main big starting town that you will start in at the beginning, you'll kind of start out here, actually, in the farmlands area, and you'll work your way into Karzakor. That is the first, big village you get to, big town, lots of merchants and stuff. I gotta say, personally, I'm kind of happy that I did not do the first look as early as I originally was going to. So this came out in about 3 weeks ago, March 12th, somewhere around there, depending on early access. And full disclosure, we were given the Ultimate Founders Pack, so you can see me wearing the cosmetic armor and skins that came with that pack, and you'll see one of the mounts that came with it, things like that. We were given that by Bandai Namco / Neowiz for the purposes of first look. So full disclosure, that was supplied to us. I, however, have also then purchased myself the Season Pass so that we could show that stuff. Phantasy Star Online 2, which the first look is already up on the site, kind of came out and was getting ready to be first looked at around the same time, right? Around the mid to late March. And I bumped Bless Unleashed to do Phantasy Star Online 2 first for both personal reasons, because, I love that game, PSO2, and because I really wanted to spend some more time in Bless Unleashed before I first looked at it. It's a very easy game to dismiss right off the bat as cookie cutter and linear and all those terms you don't like in a MMORPG for 2020. it is growing on me. It is growing on me something fierce. Yes, it is linear as far as the questing goes and the storylines go and stuff like that. It is quest hub to quest hub to quest hub when you're doing that. There are non-linear paths you can take, doing regional quests and things like that, though, too. So, but you don't see that until later in the game. It is also a game that not a lot is given to you. By that I mean you've got to earn it, baby. Level 15 is probably, at least the way I've been playing, which is exploring everything and crafting and gathering and going to the off quests and the off events on the map and killing targets on the map that aren't part of my quest, but they happen to pop up there. Leisurely playing, not trying to just storm rush the story. Level 15 is probably a good 3 to, let's say, 6 or 7 days of gameplay, depending on how many hours you put in. I probably did it in, let's say, 3 hardcore sessions, and then 1 or 2 dabbles, like an hour or 2 dabbles. Can you do it faster? Sure. But you're probably going to end up then having to grind later, because you'll have busted through a bunch of story stuff, even though they have tweaked that in the last patch. Anyway, let's get started here with the UI. Enough of that. It is growing on me. It is a game that you are going to earn every single thing you get, including gear. And I'm going to cover some of the downsides. Looking at the UI first, we have our health at the bottom. Also have a green bar. It's kind of faded out now because I'm not in combat. In my case as a ranger, that is my arrows. I currently have 50. I could get gear that will increase that. And each of my abilities will utilize a different number of arrows, and I will need to use my B ability that you see in the lower right there. I'll have to remove the MMOBomb logo for a minute so that you can see that, to reload my quiver. All the classes have some type of resource gain and spend like that, whether it be mana or, in this case, arrows. The white bar below that, my experience, so you can see I'm a little over halfway to level 16. Now, I've got some basic hot bars over to the left. These are things like my potions, my lunch boxes, which help you heal while you're sitting down at a pyre. So you do have a little bit of a hot bar action there. I'm accidentally eating stringy meat because I pressed up on my D-pad instead of down. So I want my potions, and we will have Potion of Recovery 2 equipped. Left stick moves, right stick is my camera. Then every other button is basically part of my combo or my blessing abilities. So let's take a look at that first. Let's take a look at my skills. And we're going to go to my combo screen. This you can pull up for each of your classes that you're playing too. I have this set on default control scheme 1. It's because I started playing without knowing you can change that. And so I'm just now muscle memory used to it. When you are just starting out, I would advise going to your screen here, pressing X for options, and changing in settings your controls. There are multiple default layouts, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, so that you can go through and pick it, what works best for you. It is a combo-based game. I don't necessarily like the idea of having my combos tied to my triggers, which you can see right bumper and right trigger play a lot in my combos there. So I would change it personally, but right now I'm so damn used to it now because I didn't know you could change it that I'm just sticking with it. If you don't like combat in Bless Unleashed, then you are asked out. Leave. It is not the game for you because, yeah, you're going to be doing that so often. These different combos, which all of my pieces are open. Yours may not be until you level. So take a peek at here. Make sure you realize, okay, hey, this is, like in my particular case, I want to start my combo and do the scattershot combo with right trigger, maybe if I'm dealing with a pack of mobs, because these all focus on area of effect in front of me. Precision shot combo starting with right bumper and working my way through on single targets. Depending on what I want to do might be which way I go down my tree. Do I want to throw a bunch of damage real quick and take the target out fast? Am I going to have to worry about knocking it back, or maybe I need to take a step back, in which case I might come down to this section of my combo. I do have an LT ability, which is a charged ability, and then I have the ability to reload my quiver, because if I'm out of arrows, I can't do any of these things. Notice that they do have an arrow cost over to the right. Evade is obviously my get the hell out of dodge, takes 60 stamina. Sprinting also takes stamina as well. Before we leave this screen, I do want to show you in the lower right-hand corner, there are multiple currencies, and that's not even all of them in this game, and there are two experience bars. One is my just general XP. I am 61% of the way through level 15. I am 90% of the way through my SXP, or my skill XP. That is what actually unlocks skills when I look at my blessings. So notice that in these trees, I have to spend SP to open up some of these skills. A note about these. You can only get currently SXP from certain things, namely doing the main storyline quests, the campaign quests, or doing regional quests is another common way to get SXP. Those are quests that are just happening on the map. Go to the area, do it. So you do, while you can level every single blessing, and think of blessings as a group of skills, you can level every single one. It might behoove you to take a look through your blessings and check the source. How do you get this? So that you can look at what is your play style, the way you want to play, and maximize the saving of skill points until you open up that particular blessing. If we go back to our main HUD, see those skills in the lower right-hand corner mapped around me holding the left bumper, the Y, X, and B abilities there? If I hold the left bumper, I can trigger one of those three by pressing X, Y, or B. Those skills are granted to me from my blessings. So they do have... they don't change my combo in any way, but they do offer different abilities for me to use outside of my combo. Maxing out an entire blessing will give you the perk you see on the right. So for maxing out the Lionheart Legacy blessing, I will gain 10 max stamina. Now I can only have one blessing equipped at a time, but if I have a blessing maxed out, I will always get that perk. So Gift of Valor, even though I'm not using it right now, I'm still getting that max HP plus 300 perk for having unlocked all the skills in the Gift of Valor blessing. A lot of these blessings you will gather parts of doing the main story. Some of them will be offshoot stuff, though. So you can kind of, although you're going to end up unlocking all of them anyway, you can kind of, just barely, influence some of these later ones. These early ones you're going to finish as just naturally part of the campaign anyway. Right now I'm working on the Mark of the Wolf. This gives me a few different AoE type things. So I've got Fire from Above, which is a rain of arrows from other games, an ambush shot, which lets me duck out of the way as I fire a shot, and then I can use Bottomless Quiver, really nice when I'm doing things like Fire from Above, which costs 14 arrows, that don't consume arrows for the next 15 seconds, and I have those increased by spending skill points. So, that gives you an idea. Look at the blessings you want. I would not say don't spend skill points, because you're kind of cheating yourself, but you can kind of tailor back your skill points a little bit if you're working towards a blessing that is really the way you intend to play all the time. You cannot switch blessings in combat, so really pick a play style and go with it, and then you'll have to visit a shrine and switch blessings if you want to use a different blessing for some other reason. The game does have a season pass. You gain tiers in the Season Pass by doing these different Season Pass ticket items. So if I join a party twice, I'll get 5. Right now, I'm 7 of 10 to my next tier. So yeah, joining parties would be beneficial to me right now. Killing monsters showing gear score warnings. That means they're more powerful than I am. Although not advisable to do in the game, there are reward tiers for that. Actually looking at the tiers, this works exactly the way you think it should work. I've got my basic line at the top, which is my free-to-play line, and I've got my premium line at the bottom because I have opted to pay. So I can claim an enhancement artisan summoning ticket. We'll go ahead and claim that, and a bag expansion ticket. Increases my bag capacity by 1, which I think I've already claimed. Have I? Oh, no, I did not. There we go. So now I can go to my bag, go to consumables, minimize these to get down to my bag ticket. Oh, it's in miscellaneous. And go ahead and use this. Yay, my bag capacity is expanded by 1. All right, we're going to talk about bag capacity and how this game does certain things, but enough looking at the... oh my god, lag. Teleport, use. So notice that I can teleport to any of these shrines, these teleport posts that I have opened up, that I've visited at least once. If you teleport from post to post, which I am doing, I'm using one post, and I'm going to go to another one, it costs me gold. I have plenty of gold. You can see that in the lower right-hand corner. Gold is acquired through gameplay. There you go. Not hard. If you try to teleport just walking around on the map, which you can do, I could just teleport from here to another post. It will cost me star seeds, which is that second currency you saw in my menu in the lower right-hand corner there, the second one from the left. This is the primary, real currency of the game. You're going to use this in the marketplace, the auction house, to buy gear. You're going to use it in a number of different ways throughout the game. You can acquire some of it through gameplay, particularly in the... if you purchase the Season Pass, there's a couple spots in there where you get that. You get it through just general gameplay in some fashion as well. But you get it primarily through selling things on the marketplace and other people buying them using these star seeds, or your daily exchange. Now, right now, I can exchange twice, so I can exchange 1,500 gold for 1,000 star seeds. I'm going to do that. Then the second time, it's going to go up 7,600 gold, so for 4,000 star seeds, so slightly less favorable exchange. As you level up, you will be able to do that more times per day. I'm only able to do it twice right now. It will continue to go up each time, so you can exchange gold for star seeds. The third and fourth currency you see there are astral shards and astral... shit, what's it called? Astral... oh, God. What is it called? I'm forgetting. I know there is a legend in here somewhere that tells me what those are. I can't remember what it is. Those two currencies, however, will be obtained by disenchanting gear, taking it apart, and will be used... well, they can be gained other ways, but that's the primary way. They will be used in the enhancement of your gear. Notice that, like, I have a Leviathan bow that doesn't say anything +1, +2, +3. It just says Leviathan bow, and the fortification level has 5 empty bars. I can spend currency to give it +1, +2, +3, all the way up to +5 by visiting enchanters. We'll get to that at the end. We'll talk about gear later. Really deserves a guide on its own, and there's a couple good ones out there that you can find on the internet. But I'm showing you this now because I'm telling you, save your star seeds. Don't spend them unless you have to. You can use them on teleporting. You can use them on bringing yourself back from the dead in the field so that you don't have to go back to a fire that you have found. But save them because you're going to want to use them for late game gear spends, late game enhancing your gear, stuff like that. So save your star seeds and make sure every day that even if you're only on for 5 minutes, you hit that starseed vendor, that you can do that in a couple locations, and go ahead and do your exchange. All right, so let's get to the field and do some questing. Like I said, the game is linear in the way it presents its story. And right now, we have a few different quests. So looking at the map, the blue icon indicates my primary main story quest. And then the other brownish ones, these are quests I can pick up. Or if they have a number next to them, it's a quest I already have. And so here I got to ask Bartha for advice on where to find goblin shinies. So let's head on over. I clicked the left stick to do a sprint. Notice that that did take my stamina meter away.
Hard work never hurt anyone.
All right. Yes, tell me where to find some goblin shinies. Ah, okay, great. Perfect. And so now I have a little more. Let's move the main story.
I can feel it.
And this person also has a ton of other quests for me to pick up, so we'll grab those while we're here too. Come on. Speeding up the text by holding down A.
Can I help
And we'll
you
pick
with
up
anything?
all of your other quests too. You have 2 quests. Okay. So we'll pick those both up. Not a problem. Yep, stone tablets. We got it. We'll go get them. Not a problem. Press X. Pick up this next one. Local water spirits giving you a headache. Don't worry. We're on it. And in pretty traditional fashion, you can now see that my map is kind of showing me what is where as far as my quest objectives. It's not hard to find new quests, or where my quests objectives are. There's really not a lot of searching to do. All right. Let's take out the dry sand infiltrator. So I'm going to go slow here just to give you the intro to combat. I can click the left stick to lock on to that target. I'm sorry, the right stick to lock on to that target. So now no matter where I move, I am locked on. My little targeting circle there, not the little plus sign in the center of my screen, turns red because I am in range. So I can start my combo by hitting RB, RB again, RB again. I'm going to get out of the way. So I'm not going to be able to finish that combo. I used my A barrel roll there to get out of the way. Notice that that time I went with the part of the tree that went down this way. I wanted to do a ton of damage as fast as possible. So I hit RB to start my combo, RB again, then I had the option to RB or go with B and do arrow rain 1, which is what I did. So I went down this part of the chain. I did have to break it in the middle and start over by pressing A to do my evade so that I didn't get punched in the face. This time, we're going to go RB into right trigger, and then into penetrating shot. So let's loot. We'll go to this target, kind of lock on just to make it easier. RB, right trigger evasive shot. Right trigger retreating shot. And I forgot to hit B there while it was up. So we'll do it again. RT, and B, penetrating shot. Boom. Now some of those I can move during because of my particular class and those abilities. Some abilities for classes are going to lock you down. Particularly, so like if we do this skill sequence, let's get there. If we do this skill sequence, you probably notice that I was locked down. If I do this skill sequence too to end with hammer shot, I will be locked down during hammer shot. So some abilities you can move and some you cannot. I'm going to hit B to reload my arrows, because right now I'm at 21 of 50. Lock on, RB. I'm going to go to hammer shot. I cannot move there, but shelled with the damage. To use my actual blessing abilities, let's hold LB. You'll notice that in the lower right-hand corner, everything lit up. And we're going to do a rain of arrows since we've got a nice little group of things there. They left my area of effect, so let's try and drag them back into it. Now notice there is a cooldown around that. So in, I don't know, 2 seconds here, I'll be able to use it again. But in the meantime, get out of the way. Do an arrow rain. Evade out of this person. Oh, I dragged something else into the fight. Did not want to do that. We're going to rain of arrows again. Everything kind of ran into it there. I have no arrows left, so we got a B to reload. There we go. Done. Now somebody else is jumping in here. And that's okay. But now there was an experience loss there, since somebody also, while we both got credit for the kill, there is no kill stealing or anything like that. We both did suffer a little bit of an experience penalty for tagging each other's target there. So maybe not the best thing to do, but you know, hey, every little bit helps, I guess. All right. So now that we've kind of gone through the basics of combat, we got to talk about why I'm glad I waited for the first look. And I know this is long, but I'm trying to give you a really, really thorough first look here, a little more thorough than I normally do, because it would have been very easy to, out of range, to 2 minutes in, or 2 days in, do a first look, and oh, yep, yeah, there's nothing new here. And while there may not be anything entirely new here, it's fairly standard. The combat is a bit on the unique side, a bit more action-y. There is a little bit of a delay in it, and that takes some getting used to. So watch, like I press RB, and here, watch. I click. I'm going to click in 3, 2, 1, click. There is an inherent delay, and there might be a little more than normal because I'm recording footage here, but it's not really all that impactful because of the recording. And so I can press RB. Look, I already pressed it. You can see on the screen when I press it for the second trigger. So you can get out ahead of your combos a little bit. I've already triggered Arrow Rain, and it's a full second before we kneel down. So it is not as, let's say, fast action-y combat as something like a Terra. It is a combo-based action. You do have to be aiming. You do have to be relatively close to your target. There is a fairly generous assist on it. If you're aiming slightly to the left, you're probably still going to hit your target. But yeah, so it takes a little bit of getting used to. Do some gathering. Whoop. On the skill side, or on the gear side of things, as you are gearing up, you're going to see this is a grade B bow. They go from A down to E, E being the lowest. Then in each category, there is common, uncommon, rare, legendary, mythic, all that stuff. Right now, you see I have a rare grade B bow with a gear score of 120. Honestly, your gear score is probably more important than your actual level. Your level does gate you for certain content, but gear score is really going to determine whether you're going to be going up against things you can beat or whether you are going up against things that are just going to demolish you. You can go, although there's a little bit of a experience penalty for doing so, you can go against targets that are higher level than you, 2, 3, 4 levels higher than you. If your gear score is relative, you'll still be able to be competitive there. You'll have an experience penalty. Don't try and grind things that are 3 levels higher than you because you won't be gaining max experience. And some dungeons and things are gated on your actual level. But gear score is actually the more important of the two numbers. That's the one you're going to want to be watching to make sure that you are doing content that is within your gear score level. Reload arrows here. Now, your gear itself, you can increase its effectiveness, its gear score, its stats by giving it +1, +2, +3, all the way up to +5. When you get to +5, you have the option. So you guys know I'm using a rare bow. Right now, this is not what my bow looks like, obviously. I am wearing cosmetic skins, so you probably will be too. If I upgraded my bow, my rare bow, to all the way to +5, I could then actually make it a legendary bow by further upgrading it, and then start all over again. +1, +2, +3, +4, +5. It does cost materials. The materials differ based on which of the two types of gear enhancement NPCs you go to. Going to the common one will be cheaper. Going to the master one will be more expensive in the term of what materials it actually costs you, whether it be gold or star coins. But the common one has the risk of, if you fail, not only can you lose materials that you paid to try and do the enhancement, but you can actually de-level the gear you were using or damage it in ways too. The Master Enchanter or Enhancer does allow you to, you still can fail, but and you will lose materials, but you will not have to run the risk of de-leveling or breaking your gear. But for that trade-off, you are spending either different currencies or more of a particular currency to guarantee that you're not going to hurt your gear. That was actually instituted based on player feedback. Originally, the system was very similar to some other Eastern games that we've seen, where you can fail, break your gear, blah, 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 blah. The Master Enchanters were added to kind of give you a less risky option, so you kind of weigh your risk and reward. I'm going to spend less, but my risk is increased by using common enhancers. My cost is increased, but my risk is less by using the Master. They have the same likelihood of failing. It's just the consequences for failing that change. And that's where I start to talk about, and where I've seen bless souls be thrown around in reference to the game being a little more difficult, not having things spoon-fed to you, and so being more of the Souls variety of game. And while it's not entirely accurate to call it a Souls-type game at all, it is more difficult. It is more... I gotta say, at least personally, it is more rewarding in some ways, comparing it to some MMORPGs on the market now. You do have to earn everything you're going after. You do have to be a little more thoughtful in how you are going to use your skill points. What gear is worth sinking some money and resources into to enhance, and what gear isn't. How are you going to earn the gear? Where are you going to get it? What are you going to put on the marketplace? Well, excuse me, while failing to enhance sucks, it does come with the byproduct of actually feeding the economy of the game. By that I mean you're going to spend resources to try and enhance gear, and when it doesn't work, you're going to need more resources. Well, how do you get those resources? You use your crafting, use your gathering, go do dungeons and get particular pieces of gear, put them on the marketplace, get some star coins in your star shards and resources to try your next enhancement. It does feed the overall gameplay loop. Other people who might not be able to do some of the content you can do will buy that gear from the marketplace instead of going to get it. Because there are ways to convert cash shop currency, which we haven't talked about yet. We'll finish up with a cash shop review. Convert cash shop currency into the star coins. it is a bit around your ass to your elbow, because you have to find somebody that's taking the Lumina, the cash shop currency, buying a particular item, putting a bunch of gold in that item. It's basically a gold storage pot, which allows them to put it on the marketplace for star shards, and then somebody buys that gold for the star shards. So, yeah, it's kind of ass backwards, but you can convert the currencies to a certain extent. So it does allow you to, not even just that, but you can take gear that you've worn that is high level or high gear score, because level doesn't matter. It is high gear score, and it's nice, and it's legendary, and it's plus forward. You know, you're done with it. You can actually spend star shards to unbind it from yourself to put it on the auction house. So that gear you sunk a ton of time into, if you want to sink just a few more resources into, you might be able to get a little bit of a return on all that investment now that you're done with it. So there are ways for, if you're not in a good group to do the high-end content, you still might be able to access some of that gear in the marketplace, and in return, that person that is able to farm it is using it to enhance their gear by taking the star shards and everything from buying it on the auction house. So it is kind of a unique little endeavor that everybody has access to things in different ways, whatever suits them best. Do you just want to convert gold, in-game gold, to star shards every day with your daily allowance, and 2 weeks from now be able to buy that piece of gear because you don't have a group that can run that particular dungeon? Fine, great. You just need somebody to put it up. Somebody that can put it up is trying to upgrade something else, so they're farming that and unbinding it and putting it on the marketplace. So the game is growing on me. It really is. As far as PvE content, there are dungeons. There's really, at level 15, I can only show 3 to you, and they're just 2-player affairs. They're more a 2-on-1 arena fight against an NPC. It's PvE content. However, when you do level up some more, there are full party 5-person dungeons. Those are lair challenges. Then we do have these 5-person actual regular dungeons. So we've got 3 different options. On the PvP side of things, we have the Abyssal dungeons too, but those are high endgame content. On the PvP side of things, we have 15v15 battlefields. You have to be level 20 to take part in those initially. Level 28 and above has the 3v3 Warlords Arena. And there is open world PvP as well. So you do have that option. The rewards are in the organized PvP, not so much in the world PvP. And world PvP is actually going through a little bit of a revamp. In the last update, they were going to introduce an honor system and stuff like that to kind of dissuade griefing, and that while it hasn't been fully implemented yet, they have put in some first strike penalties and the inability to first strike. So I have not been griefed at all yet. I probably will be now that I've said that, but be aware, it is open world PvP. The last thing we should look at here before we part ways, and there is a lot, obviously, that I have not been able to go through. It's already a 40-damn-minute first look. Unions, this is kind of like your, it's not your personal guild, but think of it as in-game guilds, your societies if you were playing Elder Scrolls Legends, so you join the Mages Guild and stuff like that. The unions give you the ability to do that. One of them's crafting, one of them's PvE, one of them's PvP focused. The campaign, which I'm playing through Shadows of the Unseen right now, offers rewards of its own for completing various items. There are 2 other pieces that suggested levels, level 25 and level 30, and they do cost star coins to unlock, so we'll have to unlock those. The Lumina shop is the cash shop, and for the most part, there's nothing really here that you wouldn't expect to see. You've got your battle pass, your $15, and it works for the whole season, and every season there's supposed to be new missions added. You've got your typical boosters. I'm not getting attacked, am I? Okay, thank God. I'll hide behind this tree a little bit. your typical boosters. These could be anything from reputation boosters. Yes, there are multiple factions that you need to grind reputation. I am being attacked. God damn it. Hey, man. Trying to show the cash shop off. I almost died. I didn't even notice how low my health was going into that. Come on, get away from me. Let me get my combo. There we go. All right, bye. There. Now, can I show off the cash shop? Is that all right with you guys? So there is reputation that you will need to farm with a number of different factions and benefits that go with those. Starseed booster, so you could increase the amount of starseeds you get when you do that exchange. Gold into starseeds. We have a number of resources. These are the empty jars I told you where you can buy one of these with Lumina. Put, by the way, Lumina is about a penny a point without bonuses, so 100 there would be $1 without any buying in bulk bonuses. Put 50,000 gold in here, then you can put it on the marketplace. Somebody with the star seeds can buy that because they need in-game gold for something. So there is a way to currency exchange. Various bundles of dyes and cosmetics, mounts, skins, different styles, everything, colors, everything that you would expect is here. Consumables, boosts to experience, or I'm sorry, recovery, gathering, mining, different services, marketplace discounts, personal storage expansion, mailbox expansion, character slot expansions, bag expansions. All right, let me get this out of the way. This fucking sucks. The inventory in this game is rough, particularly starting out. Your bag has, I forget how many, like 25 or 30 slots in it. Might not even be that many. I don't remember when you first started out. This bag expansion ticket, you can see, is 300 Lumina. Without discounts or bonuses for buying Lumina in bulk, that is $3. It increases your total bag slots by 1. By 1. For $25, you can get 10 bag slots. I show you that because I need to show you this. Oh, shit. Come on. That does not mean that you have to buy them. And in fact, I would never. That price is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. I haven't even bought them, and you can see that I have Lumina 2200 from the Ultimate Bundle that they gave me. I still have 2200 left over, and I still would not buy these bag expansion slots. In-game, you can acquire those bag expansion slots. One example right here. For completing that, I got a 1 bag expansion ticket. But more importantly, in the game, you will see on your mini-map little treasure chests. I'm not near any right now because I've picked them all up that are near me. Whenever you see a mini treasure chest on your map, and I'm just going to kind of head east. Maybe we'll get lucky. And I'll pop one up. Use a couple sprints. If you see a little treasure chest, stop what you are doing and go get it. Find your way around. Some of them are little jumpy puzzles and stuff like that. You can see that in the upper right-hand corner to the lower left of the mini-map, you can see that I have 54 bag slots now, and it is still a nightmare. There is one. Go and get these. That was horribly lucky. Anywhere you find these, get them. Here's why. Not only does it give you gold and astral shards, which you're going to use anyway, but it gives you a bag piece. For every 4 you get, a la Zelda's heart containers, you can visit a bag merchant and they will give you 1 slot for free. We got a little star coin icon here too. So this must be, yeah, specialty merchant. That is the way to get your bag slots. Do not... Oh, yeah, I don't have the ability to buy off of you yet. That is the way you get your bag slots. Your warehouse? Ugh, I'm not even expanding that right now. I think I have like 10 slots in there, and that's it. I'm not doing anything to expand that yet. Because that is just awful. And it is excruciating, especially starting out, managing your inventory, because you'll be gathering. Anytime you see a gathering node, hit it. It's experience. It'll get you pieces. You can go back. You can craft something that's going to get you experience. Then if it's something you don't want, like I sat there and made a bunch of shorts, you go to a pyre campfire while you're resting, getting your HP back, and just sit there and dismantle all the damn things and get astral shards that you're going to end up using to upgrade gear you did want. Everything feeds into something else. I gotta say, I'm really enjoying Bless Unleashed. I'm really enjoying it. I'm enjoying the difficulty. There are fights that are going to take 15, 20. I've seen people in chat say that they fought Gideon, who's part of the campaign, the main campaign, one of the endings, that they have fought that fight for 40 minutes to win. You are going to have to earn a lot in this game, but is it everybody's cup of tea? Absolutely not. Is it further limited by the fact that it's on the Xbox One, and that's it right now? There are no plans, at least public plans, to bring it to anything, not even PC. So, final word, it's really doing it for me right now. I will continue to play this. I'm going to play it as soon as I am done with this first look. Is it for everybody? No. Is combat sometimes a little janky? Yes. Is the cash shop, the bag? That sucks, man. The inventory sucks so bad. But you can overcome it. It just takes time playing it. Now I don't have too much. I still have full bags most of the time, but I'm able to manage it a lot easier. If you want to check out Bless Unleashed, go online to Xbox One, on your Xbox One. Check it out. Free to play. Number of different Founders Packs available. Until next time, gang, this is Magic Man from MMOBomb.com saying stay safe, and we'll see you out on the servers.